Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Real Get to the Chopper. I'm your host Andy Godoy and I'm back again with another film fan commentary. Now the film that I'll be talking about and doing my commentary is Die Hard 2, Die Harder. So obviously this is the sequel to the classic film starring Bruce Willis, Die Hard, and I tell you what, I really enjoy it. Do I enjoy it as much as the first one? No. Now the version I'll be watching is the Blu-ray version, and the Blu-ray version, I don't think they have got like a 4K version of it yet. So the Blu-ray version is the version I'll be watching. Have seen it before, but only on my 1080p projector. Obviously, I've seen it before on TV, on VHS, on DVD, and then Blu-ray. But this will be the first time watching it on my 4K projector. So it'll be interesting to watch. So bear with me 1 second, guys. It doesn't seem to have like a specific scene here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and get to the menu, the setup. Let's go to scenes. And then I'll start it from the beginning. Special features. It just kicks off really weird. It's got no play film. Interestingly enough. So in the meantime, while I'm sort of flicking through this, then big special shout out to Luke Hayes Payne, Damien Says, James Birch, and everyone else from the Get to the Chopper community on Facebook. Thank you guys for all making it, amazing. Merry Christmas to everyone. Again, the reason why I'm doing this film, because it is another Christmas film. What are the odds? John McClane in another hostage situation around Christmas. So, right, so I'm going to start selecting the scenes. Bear with me. There we go. So I'm going to go to scene selection for number 1. And with that, let me crank up the volume and I'll tell you guys when to press play. So 3, 2, 1, press play. Right, so it's the 20th Century logo there. It's popped up. Here we go. So it's all in sync. I'll let you know what's coming up on the screen so we can always align it. So first, Die Hard 2. There's the reg plate. There's a car getting towed. Again, this is an interesting sort of film to see. It's an interesting sequel. Obviously, the first one was such a success. This did compete with Ghost, which was Demi Moore, Bruce Willis's wife. And Ghost obviously did better than Die Hard 2. But Die Hard 2 wasn't any slouch in the box office. Did really well. Again, Christmas film. And I like this. It's got a continuation of the John McClane character. They could have really gone down an easy, road and just made it sort of like a soft sequel, reboot type thing. But no, this really follows the path. There's homages, there's characters from the first one. It feels like a proper continuation. I've got to say, John McClane is one unlucky SOB. Christmas tree there. Just like the previous one, every time there's signs of Christmas or someone says Merry Christmas, have a drink. Now, somewhere down the line, I will do a Die Hard 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance, but I won't do the 4th or 5th ones. To me, those don't exist. Absolutely hate those films. Right, here we go. Starting off with a naked dude doing some sort of like martial arts. Yep, in front of a mirror as well. Now, he's a good bad guy, but he's no Hans Gruber. Definitely no Hans Gruber. Hans Gruber was such a good bad guy. And again, anyone would struggle to compete against Hans Gruber. Good old pagers. And again, Bruce Willis, his own personality is so ingrained with John McClane that he really brings out John McClane. He fits, it's like wearing a nice sort of pair of familiar pants or socks. It feels familiar, you know. And again, you've got some really good memorable bad guys. And there we go. What's it called? Robert Patrick, the T-1000. And there we go. Bonnie Bedelia playing Holly McClane. Again, he's a very likable guy. He's got a way of delivering lines to make it sound more human and not just like words on a script. And again, she was really good, Bonnie Bedelia. I don't know how she managed to get that through customs, but again, different time. Scary woman. What are the odds, eh? And I don't know what it is. I just feel like you can't make a Die Hard film now. The last couple just weren't great. They just didn't feel right. I mean, you can do films like John Wick. You can do other films. And don't get me wrong, they're not bad films, but they're not like this. This has got a grittiness, a real ruggedness. And again, I keep on saying, films shot on film look better. God, I sound like such an old man. That's like me there. Films aren't the same. Back in my day, these sort of like films in color, these films with, you know, talkies, they're not the same. But yeah, I honestly feel this is a vastly underrated film, and as a sequel. Yeah, like I said on the previous episode, I'm not a fan of flying, but I do it to get away sometimes. Oh, I feel sorry for this old dude. Poor guy. Oh. Poor old dude. Honestly, as sequels go, this had no reason to be as good as it was, really. You know, if you watch some of the other films that just weren't as good, like at the time, obviously Under Siege was a big rip-off. It weren't bad, it just weren't great. But then Under Siege 2 was a pile of cack. And then we also had like Speed 2, Cruise Control. Oh, that was absolutely terrible. But this just felt like the next chapter of John McClane, and it was done really good. And again, I think it's like if you got a competent director, I think this was Renee Harlan, who also did The Long Kiss Goodnight and Cutthroat Island, which I think didn't do very well. But again, I feel this is a very, very well shot film. Again, the film score you can hear in the background is nice, moody, building up the tension, reminiscent of the first film. The only way I can describe this is I think a lot of people just thought it was far too similar to the first film. And yeah, it is. It really is. It's just John McClane in an airport with some new hostages at Christmas again. I mean, they could have made it Thanksgiving or they could have made it New Year or Halloween. But, you know, it is what it is. The only way I can describe it is like the arcade game Double Dragon, one of my favorite arcade games. And then I was looking forward to the sequel, Double Dragon 2, but I found it so similar. It was like a reskin, a few different moves, and it just felt like I'd been there before. Obviously, I appreciate it a lot more now. Kind of like this. This guy's annoying. Now, that guy there, am I wrong? Did he star in Total Recall? He played Arnie's work colleague, you know, like when they're on the construction site. And he also played Joey Tribbiani's dad in Friends. Oh. But again, little things like this really add to the tension. It's not all happening behind the scenes, you know. When things do start happening, everyone's aware of the big grand scale of it all happening. And honestly, you watch this film now after everything, you know, that's happened like in the world, this film hits harder. It's more scary to believe, you know, like before this, it was just like, oh yeah, just like an action film. But now, you know, it's quite hard to watch certain things. Hey, I think John McClane should have gone easier on that guy because you know what? That guy had to ask. He's not going to just let some random stranger in there. You know, if that was me, I would have been like, yeah, why? Why do you need to know? And again, the music building up, the lights there, beautifully shot. You know, this could have been such a plain shot thing. And again, if this was, I know I keep on going on about it, but if it was shot now, it'd be too clean. This looks like it's worn out, grimy, dirty, you know, like warm, but like now, you just, I don't know, it wouldn't look right. And again, what I like about this, John McClane isn't a superhero. He's a normal guy. He's a normal cop that's doing what he's been trained for. And that's the problem with like action heroes now. They're too over the top, amazing, and just kick ass so much. But this guy still struggles. Oh, good fight. Oh, nice kick. Again, look at this. It's intense. It feels like it's just like a continuation of the first one. And I know I keep on saying that. Ooh. So yeah, apparently the airport wasn't actually an airport. It was actually the Staples Mills Road mall, I think. Oh no, Staples Mill Road, Armac Station in Virginia. My mistake. I like that. What he should have done though is just rang the bell. Should have rang the bell there. Oh no. And there he is again. Was it William Atherton? What are the odds? What are the odds? He is such an asshole. Yay! Love that scene. Jeez, that guy was really bloodied. And again, I feel like this being out in the snow does make it feel not only more Christmassy, but it gives it more of a colder feel. Technically, he didn't fail. He accomplished his mission. Again, really strong cast of people who are really interacting really well, showcasing the characters and the conflicts on the roles and situations they're having to do. I love that exchange between them. Typical John McClane, has to sort of get a little dig in there. Hmm. Looks a bit early CGI-ish or green screen. That's one thing that you'll notice about this. There are certain effects in this that do look not quite real, whereas a lot of the stuff from the first film looked more real. He didn't say that, what's it called? That these chains hurt. What he did say, he's got like a cramp on his leg. Poor guy. So yeah, guys, I've got like a list of other films I'll be doing. I've got a special one that I'm doing as an extra one for Christmas, and that is Gremlins. So I'll be doing Gremlins, the next one, and that's a big special shout out to Luke Hayes Payne. After that, we've got Creed 2, followed by Universal Soldier, Dread 3D, Enter the Dragon. And then from there, we'll see where it takes us. I'm kind of glad they brought, Al Powell back. I like the way he still calls him Cowboy. I still like the fact that he's eating a Twinkie. Love it. Again, I like the way he just delivers these lines. Again, he's a bit of a ladies' man. The ladies like him, and he likes the ladies. This guy looks familiar. I'm sure. Let me quickly look him up before I come up with a fake fact. So let's have a little look. Die Hard 2. Wow. She tried, bless her. And he's a good guy. He loves his wife. If this does come out in 4K, I probably will get it. It might be in 4K somewhere else, but here in the UK, not yet. And the good thing about 4K, most films are region free, so, you know, it might be worth an import at some point. I've only imported a few films on 4K. Again, I love the lighting. I guess, like, even though slightly over the top, this one and the second film, sorry, the first one and this film, it still feels more believable than the third and fourth film. Sorry, not the third film, the fourth and fifth film. I love the third film. If I haven't got that on Blu-ray, I'll definitely get that on Blu-ray. Because again, I don't think that's on 4K. Here we go. Maybe they should go from code yellow to code red. If the lights won't go, emergency stuff won't go on. Oh, it is a code red now. Again, all this is really well acted. You can feel the tension building up, stories unfolding. Mm-hmm. Again, always really good baddies. Oh, I'm having a bit of a yawn. Bit tired. Been up since like about 3 o'clock this morning. But yeah, guys, I've really been enjoying doing these movie commentaries, especially these Christmas ones like Die Hard, Die Hard 2. And again, big special shout out goes to Luke Hayes Payne for getting me a nice Christmas gift. And that is Gremlins in 4K. I've got it on Blu-ray. But again, certain films, you know, they have to be seen in, 4K. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was crossing the line, John. Crossing the line. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, he loves climbing through these little vents and lift shafts and stuff like that. Deja vu. You're unlucky, mate. That's why. Slow build up. This next bit's quite good, actually. Just the surprise. Like, what the hell is this? There we go. Again, I love the tint of red that they use, like of danger, warning us of like how the shit's gonna hit the fan. They're all springing into action. It looks like a scene out of Nightmare on Elm Street film. And again, through another vent. Ouch. And the action begins. What a hell of a mess. Someone's going to have to clean all that up. I've got all the bullet shells. There's Mr. T-1000 himself. Damn. Damn. I'm just getting so involved in the action here. Goodbye. Here we go. Can he get to the gun? Of course he can. Boom, boom. Battered, bruised, terrorists all killed, and it's only just begun. They look completely destroyed, like what the hell has gone on? Should have brought a drink. I always get really thirsty when I'm doing these things. I don't know whether it's because I'm talking throughout the whole thing, but I mean, normally when I do podcasts. He did. She's right. I think he's dead. Yeah, they need to do a new miracle. Oh, one of the radios. Oh, thing gonna get serious. Yep, he's going to show what he's capable of. Ooh. Um, and look who we got here. Colin Meaney, Chief O'Brien himself from Deep Space Nine. I always thought Colin Meaney was always in his late 50s, but he was only in his 30s when he was doing Star Trek. He just has one of those faces, looks a lot older. It's like now when you see him, he looks exactly the same. because he was just always looked older. And again, like Die Hard trilogy on the PlayStation, the first one, like in the game, you're in the car park and the different levels shooting baddies, and this one was more like a virtual cop type game where you had to shoot all the baddies in the airport. Really good, a nice variety. I think that one still holds up actually. And then the third level, which is Die Hard with Vengeance, which is more like the game Driver, or Crazy Taxi driving around the city. That hasn't aged very well. I don't know if he could have done. Could he have poured some of like fuel on the floor to make it like a landing strip? Or maybe he just didn't have enough time. The music's really sinister here. Damn. And this really shows that this guy's a monster. He's not a man to be messed with. He will do anything. And you can see him angry, sad, just can't believe what's actually happened. He tried to do what he had to do and he just couldn't. There was nothing he could do. Damn. Damn, that looks horrific. Still smoking. I'm glad he said it, because he's got to be going through loads. Let me just move my microphone. Oh, she's a bitch. She got him with that line. He asked for it. But to be fair, you know, he deserves it. He was an asshole to her. Again, this film isn't a bad film. It's a pretty decent film. I just feel like it's just not as good as the original. And yeah, I think it's a bit of a fair statement. Nice standoff there. Clash of personalities, assessing each other, big time players. And again, this is what I like about these films. Not all the big sort of like stars of the films come in at the same time. They're fed into the story as the story, you know, unfolds. Good plan. Bit of a yawn. Like I said, I've been up since about 3 o'clock-ish in the morning. Again, hopefully everyone's having a great Christmas time with your friends, family, whatever else. Hopefully you've had loads of food, drinks, nice presents. I'm recording all these weeks in advance because got family staying over and I will not have the time to record. Getting intense. Oh, someone's getting strangled. No. Oh, here we go. Bit of a struggle. Oh, gunshot. It's nicely shot, the silhouette that was there. It's getting quite tense now. The countdown. It is quite a good contrast from like going from the mall to an airport. And again, the third one is, you know, they're in a car solving puzzles. So they're out and about on the move, but to an extent they're being controlled. Oh yeah, I remember this bit. It's a bit of a close call. That light there from the runway kind of looks like the display from Knight Rider from the car kit. With the little lights on the panels. Always. Other films I'm looking forward to doing is the Indiana Jones films, the Mummy films. I'll quickly have a little look and sort of see what other films I've got plans. So obviously I want to do films like Bram Stoker's Dracula, Coraline, The Lost Boys, the Mad Max films. I'll start doing the Marvel films again. It would be interesting to watch them. and how good they started to what they became. Do a few horror films like American Werewolf in London, The Blob, Candyman, Tremors, Big Trouble in Little China, Blade Runner, Pulp Fiction, Independence Day, Sin City will be a good one, Jaws. Got a whole list. And guys, don't forget, you can recommend what film you want me to do. Like Luke basically recommends a film every week, which, you know, I don't mind because it gives me an excuse to watch that film. Damn, he's a machine. I do like the twists and turns that this film does have. Ooh. Don't know how grenades work, but aren't they meant to go off pretty much as soon as they land after like a second or so? I always thought this bit looked a little bit cheesy. Yeah, it doesn't look too good, that. Again, it's interesting watching this. I'm watching the Blu-ray version of this. First watched this on TV on Sky. Then obviously I had to get the VHS, and then eventually I swapped over to DVD, and then eventually to the Blu-ray. The good thing about Blu-rays, a lot of the films you can get pretty much for about £5, if so, some of the older ones. And again, yeah, they're 1080p, but if you're watching on 4K, they do somewhat get upscaled slightly, so they do look slightly better than they would do if you're watching them on a normal 1080p thing. So yeah, it's not too bad. She looks familiar. I don't know where that airline hostess is from. I don't know how you'd stay calm in that sort of situation. The Simpsons, oh yeah, Dr. Marvin Monroe episode where they have to zap each other. I remember that. One of the early episodes, I think, from season 1. He's such an asshole. Indeed he is. I have to Google, who is that airline hostess? I know her from somewhere. I like the way everyone's so angry in this. The police chief, this guy. Ooh, scary. Okay, so apparently she was in City Slickers, she was in Forever Young, guest starred in Miami Vice, small appearances in Seinfeld and Friends, so yeah, you know, she seems familiar. I like that old lady, she's sassy. So the main baddie then, William Sadler. He was in Bill and Ted. Oh, he was the Grim Reaper in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. He was also Haywood in The Shawshank Redemption. Did not know that. He also plays Jim in The Mist. Really good film. I can't wait to do that. Film commentary. Love that film. Oh, John Amos. I forgot. You know, he plays like the military guy. He played the dad in Coming to America of MacDougall. I can't remember what his name was. He was also in a really good episode, I think, of DS9 with the Marquis. I don't know, I feel like this film seems a little bit longer than the original Die Hard, actually. What's the runtime of this film? I'm not saying that's a bad thing. So it's this 2 hours, 4 minutes, whereas Die Hard was, 2 hours, 12 minutes. It's actually shorter. Oh, wow. So apparently this film exceeded all expectation and even outgrossed the original Die Hard by nearly double. So it did well. It didn't beat Ghost, but it outdid number-wise the original film. So as sequels goes, it was a success. I always felt it didn't I always felt like it performed less. Oh, okay. And the general, whatever his name was, he's from a place called Valverde. And apparently that is the fictional Latin American country used in Commando. Sort of crossover sort of from the film Commando. Little fight scene. Hold up a second. I did not know this. John Leguizamo is a character called Burke in this. How have I never noticed? Maybe he's already been killed. I did not notice. Did not notice. I never knew that. Speaking of John Leguizamo, I want to do films like Summer of Sam. I want to do the Super Mario Brothers film with him and Bob Hoskins. I want to do some sort of video game movies like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter 2. You know, I might even do some of the rubbish ones like DOA and what was it called? Blood Rain or Blood something? It's about the vampire. It's funny. He just did. Oh, is he? Spoilers. Oh, there he is. That's John Leguizamo. You know what? All this time, I never knew that was him. Surely he was a bigger star at the time, you know, Romeo and Juliet, or maybe that was after. Sorry, I'm just getting caught up in the action scenes here. I feel like this would have worked better as a game like now. Like, you could have done it sort of like a smaller, contained version of a GTA style game. Because it's quite a large area that they cover. It's not just the airport. It's like outside and stuff like that. So it does feel bigger in scale. Other films I'm looking forward to doing are films like Pitch Black, Cliffhanger, the original black and white King Kong film. Would like to do some of the Ray Harryhausen films like Clash of the Titans, the Sinbad films. Want to do a few more martial art films, so Jackie Chan, maybe some more Bruce Lee. Obviously, I'll do some sort of Kevin Smith films. Like, obviously, the good ones, sort of like, you know, Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma. Won't do some of his other later stuff, which, to be fair, weren't great. I'll do some Quentin Tarantino stuff and Guy Ritchie. Damn. Yeah, I feel this film's okay. I just feel that sometimes it's got scenes that I don't feel like are necessary for it. It feels maybe if it was a little bit shorter and a bit tighter, it would have been better. Ooh, other films I'd love to do. Arnie films, Commando, Conan, Total Recall, The Running Man. Speaking of sort of like stuff like Paul Verhoeven, want to do stuff like Starship Troopers. Showgirls. Other films I want to be doing, seeing this crazy sort of like news thingy. I want to do films like Dawn of the Dead, which I love the original Dawn of the Dead. It'll be interesting to know which one I'm going to be doing. The European, the international, or whatever the different cuts. There's like about 4 different cuts of that film. Oh, horrific. What I want to know is like how are all these guys involved? Like, how do they be part of the plan? What do they benefit from apart from cash? That guy is always angry. Lorenzo really looks like he shit himself. Oh, yeah, that was brilliant acting. He's just been shot at. Look at him. Hey, you know what? Lorenzo needs his own film. Man, I would have been happy with Lorenzo's spin-off film. If he's still going, I want Lorenzo to come out of retirement and I want him in his own Die Hard style film. Who is Lorenzo? I need to see what other films he's been in. Right, it's a guy called Dennis Franz. And yeah, he's been in NYPD Blue, City of Angels, Dress to Kill, Sesame Street, Mighty Ducks. Yeah, a pretty good actor. Ooh. This guy's good. You know what? That guy Lorenzo definitely makes a film for me. What an asshole. Humanity. You should have squiggled a bit more. Yeah, then I want to do maybe some sort of like disaster films. Want to do stuff like Independence Day, Day After Tomorrow. You know, I think certain films need to be appreciated on the big screen, and I'm really enjoying doing these commentaries. I think, you know what, I do like this direction of what the podcast is going into, doing film commentaries, whereas the old Get to the Chopper was more sort of people conversing about certain subjects. And don't get me wrong, I still will be doing that. From time to time, we'll get friends over and we'll go back to the old school style podcast, but it's a nice variation. And like I said, it gives me an excuse to watch a film as well. And seeing this film, you know, I'd like to... look at him. It's so pathetic. I want to do films like Aeroplane, The Naked Gun. Do films like Final Destination. I will be doing some sort of British films like the Carry On films because I haven't seen them in a while. Gives me an excuse to watch them. They're only a DVD, unfortunately, but you know what? I think it adds to the sort of time frame of what they were. That's quite impressive. As stunts go, you know, the helicopter flying near the aeroplane. Again, all CGI now, wouldn't it? And I just feel like CGI really takes away from the realism. It's like if you watch the last Indiana Jones film, the time traveling one, I can't remember what it's called. There's a scene where Indiana Jones is running on top of a train. And it was so fake that I just didn't feel invested in it. It didn't feel real. And I know Harrison Ford is old and, it's can't expect him to do that. But you could have got like a stuntman to run on a real train. They did it. I mean, in what's it called? In The Last Crusade, for God's sake, This scene always kind of reminds me of the scene from Indiana Jones where Indy fights the bald guy with a mustache on the plane. Damn, brutal. Oh. Oh. Holy shit, that is quite terrifying. Oh. I'm thinking, how long is this runway? How long has that plane been actually on the runway? There's like a Fast and Furious film where like they're on the runway and they're chasing after the plane and the runway seems to go on forever. But again, this seems very similar. How long have they been going on this runway? Unless they're going in a big massive circle. Oh, some good kicks there. Oh, speaking about kicks, got to do some Van Damme films. Kick sport, blood sport, kickboxer, AWOL. Of course, Universal Soldiers. Yay, brilliant. Would this even work? He's always battered. He's always bruised. He's always... Haven't they got some debris, though, that they could be watching, like they might crash into? Look at that. Results. Got to give it to these pilots. They look genuinely happy. Good acting on their part. And again, like I said in the previous episode of the podcast, Bruce Willis is such a personality, such a charismatic actor, person, and for him to be the way he is now is sad, really. It's just, God bless him. At least we've all got his memories of these wonderful films that he did, filled our childhood, filled our adulthood with joy, Shout out to Bruce Willis. Absolute legends. They do love each other. And again, it changes in the third film, but hey, you can imagine they're volatile, they're passionate, they're both pig-headed, Yeah. It just does. She should have just zapped him again. I like that. All right, so Die Hard, the original one, I gave it a 5 out of 5. It's like perfect. This, I would give a 3.5 out of 5. You know, it's a good film. It's a good sequel. Nowhere near as good as the original, but it does so many things right. It really does. And yeah, I've really enjoyed doing this. So again, big shout out to all the community at Get to the Chopper. So Luke Ace Payne, thank you so much. And again, big special shout out to you, buddy. Honestly, like, it makes doing these really worthwhile. Thank you for Gremlins. And I'll be doing that for you next. So that'll be our special 4K film for this month then. And also big shout out to my friends Damien Sayers, James Birch. And yeah, Merry Christmas everyone. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Get to the chopper, we gotta fly.